Hey, this is Seth, and in this video, I want to share with you what it's been like to live outside of the US for an entire year. So, December 2019, I'm in Hawaii, looking forward to my trip to Asia, where I'm planning on going to Japan and Thailand and then traveling around Southeast Asia, never getting a long-term visa, but always using tourist visas. Little did I know what the future had in store. So I went to Japan, loved it there, loved the food. I loved Kyoto. Tokyo was okay, but I love Kyoto. The meat in Japan is amazing. The lamb is amazing. The beef, it's just so succulent. They really do something different. I wish in America that they would raise beef like this, or whatever they're doing. They do something. It tastes different. It is absolutely like candy. It is unbelievably good if you eat meat. The vegetables also taste good. The food is just better there. I don't know why. I love the food. I would go back just for the food. The people were great. I met one of my students, Michael, who is from the UK, got a job in Germany, and now lives in Japan with his wife. And we went to a geisha show. That was awesome.
Yeah, so my name's Michael Schroeder. I'm a freelance digital marketer. I specialize in Google Ads, Google AdWords. And I took Seth's course now 2.5 years ago, nearly 3 years ago, in Japan. And everything's come full circle again, meeting Seth again in Japan, which has just been great.
Went on a hike, had this great tour guide we hired to show us around some of these ancient ruins and temples and things like that. I stayed near a lake called Lake Atsu, which is beautiful. I think it's like the third biggest lake in Japan. It's huge.
And I'm here in Japan at Lake Biwa. It is so peaceful, I don't even want to really speak that loudly. That's the hotel, and this lake is gorgeous. There are mountains. It's really quiet here.
It's just really wonderful culture. Everything's clean. In the subways, they have bakeries. This is mind-blowing to me. They need to do this in the US. They have bakeries. So as soon as you walk into the subway, you're not greeted with this, with a wall of the stench of urine like in New York City or something. You're hit with the smell of bread. I also did this. This was an authentic samurai sword class. Listen to the sound of the sword. I just had to play it again because it was so cool. It really makes that sound. This guy is a descendant of actual samurais, and he does this. It was like an Airbnb thing. And this was me attempting to slice through this thing. Very sharp sword. And it only took me like 3 or 4 times to figure out how to do it. You have to slice it at an angle. It was really cool. Oh, one day we went to a completely authentic 10-course Japanese meal. Nobody spoke English. I didn't speak any Japanese. They just gave us 10 courses of food. No idea what I ate. I can show you the pictures. A lot of seafood, most of it was very delicious. Some of it was kind of weird and interesting, but it was all in all a great experience. And then I was very excited to come to Thailand, and I flew in to Bangkok, flew up to Chiang Mai, and my goal was I was going to stay in Chiang Mai for as long as I could, because I really like it in Chiang Mai. Unfortunately, there's something called the burning season. And you probably haven't heard about this in the US, but there's a big problem in Southeast Asia because unfortunately, the farmers there, because it's so cheap to do it this way, they clear all their crops from the previous season by just burning their crops. And it pollutes the entire city. The air pollution becomes in fact, Chiang Mai had the worst air pollution in the planet a couple of days last year. So I obviously wasn't going to stay there. Thankfully, I'm mobile. That's why I came down here to Koh Samui. I'm gonna put on sunglasses and a hoodie because I already was in the sun so much this morning. I need to protect myself. But I want to show you just how beautiful it is where, oh God, I look like a hoodlum. But check this out. So this is actually an island called Koh Ma that is can actually walk. Check this out. Can walk to the island. Okay guys, so check this out. This is the bay. Wow. And that is the island right across the way. There's a marine park off these islands, which is basically this chain of islands in the middle of the ocean. Actually, that was what was fun. Yeah, here's where we are. Like somehow the GPS got it. We're like right there, like nowhere. I tried to see what the Google would, if Google Maps could plot a course. The day we went wasn't the weather wasn't the best. Um, it was kind of overcast, and there's me. There's me. So this is, yeah, now as you get further into it, you can see, I mean, I could do a whole other video about this, but I'm not really an adventure channel. The water was relatively blue, not like Caribbean blue, but just outstanding. These rocks, man. It looks like Uncharted 4, doesn't it? If there's any PS4 fans here. So I'm trying to see if any of these are actual. Oh, there's videos. So yeah, you're just kind of slowly drifting into this park. I know I should post this separately. It's right in the middle here, but just to let you know, there was a lot of fun stuff that was happening. And I think they're still doing this tour now, just obviously less crowded. So beautiful. There was some, like, this is the area where people stop and have lunch and stuff, and then there's a little hike. Oh my God, yeah, this was just awesome. And then so we're taking pictures and taking a hike up these platforms, and then you get to go up and then take the pictures here. So yeah, you go out to this place in the middle of the ocean, and then there are some touristy areas where you can climb up to the top of this area here and overlook, get a picture. My good digital nomad pictures. And this is beautiful. This is an area in Thailand it's prohibited for anybody to go in there. It is pristine. It's illegal for anyone to go in there. So there's no garbage, there's no tourists. It's completely immaculate in the middle of the ocean. So there's here the backside of this island here. And then you can see all the, so great. Yeah. And there it is again. But anyway, yeah, that was the trip to the marine park, and then came back to Koh Samui, and then I'll pick up the video where I left off. And we were jumping around from hotel to hotel, trying to figure out where we were going to stay when the lockdown started to happen. And my visa was expiring. It was all pretty crazy, very stressful. I ended up flying to Laos and flying back to Thailand on the same day. Nearly didn't get back into the country. You're not supposed to do that anymore. They call it a visa run. Got an extension on my visa, but then my whole life was about getting a visa. And that's something you're going to deal with as a digital nomad. I don't know if I said this before. If you're going to be a digital nomad, you got to deal with taxes and visas, and you got to get your visas in order. And especially nowadays, it's totally different. Well, it's very surreal to be outside the United States at all, especially with all the shit that's happening. I think if it was a normal year, it might not be as strange. But watching political events, cultural events happen, me and I have some American friends here, and we talk about how it's so weird because like we're so far away, and I'm grateful for that. I don't have to really deal with any health issues, and I just kind of am observing what my family and friends are dealing with. We all joke about it because like every time we talk to people in the U.S., there's certain issues that come up that we don't really think about because we're on an island in the middle of the Gulf of Thailand in Southeast Asia, 10,000 miles away. So I feel a little bit, disconnected, a little bit lonely. I miss my friends. I miss my family. I miss my sister and my mother and father and my new niece. I have a new niece I haven't seen yet in person. But it hasn't been compelling enough to make me go home. I like it here. I'm staying here at least for another year. And to be honest with you guys, because of the modernization of the world, I was thinking about this. Like, it's not that different being here. And also, I'm on a tourist island. That's something else I realized. Like, if you're in Bangkok, or I think if I was in a small village, like in the mainland Thailand, the language thing would be a big issue. But because I'm on this tourist island, a lot of people here speak at least enough English for me to use English. I have learned a little bit of Thai, nit noi. I can basically say Sawasdee krap, Khop krap. I say Beng Yai Bang. It's hard to pronounce some of the words, especially if you're Western, man. You realize that the tones and the way that they say the words is very different than learning a Romance language. But I'm slowly learning it as much as I can. The people here are very warm. I do like it here in this country. But other than that, it's not that different because of the internet. I run everything you know, digital nomad. I run my business from my computer, uh, exactly the same way I would as if I was in California or Nevada or New York or wherever. I order my food through Food Panda. I drive down on my bike to the market sometimes, and I talk to my family and friends via Skype. So it's not as crazy as some people. And it's like maybe if you go to Africa or some place where there's no development, and you're like, oh, I'm not. I have, you know, we have plumbing, we have showers, we have everything, electricity most of the time. It's really not that different in terms of that. There's a bunch of expats here, mostly older folks, so not as many people my age or younger. But I have been meeting a lot more people here. I met a really cool couple from the U.S. and some Canadians, and you know, there's a German guy who runs the restaurant. The German guy runs the Italian Thai restaurant that I eat at all the time. Maybe I'll show some screenshots of the food. I love the food there. Um, and I have a pretty simple, boring life here. So you know, I ride my bike a lot. Maybe I'll put in some video of my daily bike ride. Sometimes I run into a bull on the road. There's a lot of interesting sights. Yeah, this is my usual bike ride route through the beautiful forest here, and sometimes there is a bull in the road, and you don't want to mess with the bull or you will get the horns. um, I go to the beach. I watch Netflix, I work on my business, I date, I talk to friends, you know, it's just kind of a normal low-key life. I'm not like the bucket list family doing crazy adventures all the time. Anyway, guys, that's just a little slice of what's been going on with me and what it's like to be out of the US. But anyway, if you guys have questions about being a digital nomad or anything I've talked about, comments, please leave them below. I will try to make more. I'm going to make some more videos about travel and digital nomad and visas and taxes and all those things. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.